So we were in my Airbnb. I'm here for another couple days, feeling restless. Got the old camera out, my old one. We're gonna take a walk in the great outdoors here, assuming the lighting adjusts. Make sure I have my key. The idea here is twofold. One, I'm gonna show you how pretty this place is. I'm just gonna take a walk southwards. I'm gonna try to make it to the periphery of the city, the southern edge, see some jungle, some birds, because it gets really naturey and pretty. The other point here is to try to overcome my fear, I guess we'll call it, of filming myself in public. I hate this. I've never walked around with a camera pointed on myself. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. I don't know that I want to overcome this because I find it deeply, deeply embarrassing. Also, I'm doing this because this is one of the only places I'm going to be where I feel it is fully safe to walk around with expensive electronics out in the open, because Puerto Vallarta is relatively tame. Not that it's completely secure and safe, but this is really my shot. Voila. And first contact there. And human beings have seen me with a camera pointed at my stupid face. I hate it. I hate this feeling, but here we go. There's me being a bona fide vlogger. Oh, God, wretched, wretched. Look at this. Okay, I've paid my dues here. Let's take a look. This is just what it looks like. Just a random street. I'm in the Zona Romantica, which is, again, at the southern edge of the city. And as you'll see, pretty close to the ocean. Here's some barn swallows for anybody who's a pervert for birds, like I am. Tons of those. There's the ocean. You can tell I am a little out of breath. My physical fitness has actually greatly improved since having to walk up and down the, God, I don't know, 5,000 steps, it feels like, to get up and down from my Airbnb down to the ocean. If you head down that way, you make it to the Malecon, which is the main walkway along the sea. And then this takes you into a different neighborhood in Puerto Vallarta. I don't remember the name of it. But you cross over a river. Another guy just saw me talking to myself, the camera. I think this is healthier, right? I think this is more what you want to see than my face. Not that I dislike my face. Isn't this nice? So every time I step outside my Airbnb, it has looked like this. This is every street, bougainvillea, bright sunshine, nice weather, beautiful birds. And people think San Diego is a beautiful place. This is a beautiful place, a legitimately beautiful place. Hola. Gracias. Perdón. You too. There's I don't know, you probably can't see it. There's a big bird that just flew past. It's called a magnificent frigate bird. It's a big ocean bird. Really beautiful, impressive. They have these angular wings with pointed tips that look really strange. They look like giant cartoon bats or something. I don't know if that makes sense, but we're getting into the actual area with the shops. It's a little touristy area. Here's the bridge. I remember the first time I came down here. It was for a friend's bachelor party, and people were having lunch right before we took our flight back to Tijuana, crossed back over the border, and I broke off from the group and came on a walk. And I think I crossed over this bridge here. It goes over a river. And even the like shitty municipal river, I say shitty with an asterisk on it, is just beautiful. I mean, it is low tide apparently right now. The water gets backed up when the tide comes in because the ocean is right over there behind that bus. But it's just gorgeous. I mean, I look for fish, I look for fish, I look for fish. I don't really see fish. Lots of birds though. I hear them up there. Swallows. And then this is kind of where we're headed. We're headed that way. We'll try to find an edge. Hopefully that's not a quarter mile up a vertical incline. We can walk around and see some nature-y stuff, and maybe I can put the camera down and get the binoculars out. There's the steeple of this big church. I don't remember the name of it. I really should. But that's actually pretty close to my Airbnb where we just came from. And I hear the bells going all day, all night. Not complaining. Part of the ambiance. Here's a dry riverbed. There's quite a ways back there. Okay, this is what I should have figured was going to be the case. I've been down here before. I should have remembered the edge of town on the southern side is just this freeway essentially that goes down to Playa de Maloya. And I don't think there's a ton of room to walk. I might pop down there a little bit, but there's also this direction up here that I have not been. There's also that direction down there that I know leads to the ocean. So let's walk down this way, see what we see. What I'm looking for is just like a trail or something. Little urban nature walk. This may prove to be a vain hope, we will see. I think this is people's houses, we'll see. Would I take a video camera up into a residential neighborhood if I were elsewhere in Mexico? No, I would not. Okay, that's nothing. Let's see how walkable that road is. And traffic is one thing I just don't really mess around with in Mexico. Drivers are more aggressive. Some people are nice, let you go. For the most part, they just barrel right past you, and I let them barrel. So I'm waiting for a big sloppy opening here. This guy's kind of letting me go. Okay, we're good. I'm gonna keep walking along this road as long as it is safe to do so. And it's mostly hotels along here. Big expensive resorts and such. And I doubt there's a ton of beach access, but there may be paths along this side. It gets really wildernessy as you go down. And I don't know, worst case scenario is I double back. And then this is kind of, this is how I remember it being. First time down here, I stayed at a big Airbnb way down on the beach. And you have to walk on the margins like this, which is not super ideal, but it is about as much clearance as you would get with a sidewalk, or maybe just a little bit less. If I keep walking all the way down this road, it just keeps going and going, and there's this cliff that keeps going along with it. It's really steep up there, and you do start seeing some tropical birds and big ferns and stuff and little creeks. I think when you go farther down, there are turnoffs, you can kind of walk off into the woods. I don't know how great of an idea that is. Probably fine, but just in case, maybe I want to not do that. Also, if I keep walking along here, any access point down to the beach is going to look like this. So I'm just going to turn around, take a left at the OXXO, maybe after picking up a Gatorade, and show you the beautiful ocean. 22 pesos. Totals out to just over $1 American. The rent is not so spectacular. I mean, it's certainly a little bit cheaper than San Diego, but when you do Airbnb, it's not that much cheaper, but cost of living incidentals like this, food, drink, transportation, way, way, way cheaper. Hold on. Show you the view here. Decided to double back, and we're just gonna head down into the city. And this this is what my life has looked like. I'm not complaining at all. It's actually been really nice for my general level of fitness. As I said, I'll be going up and down stairs all the time. Definitely needed / need it. There are these sculptures all over town. You'll see, all by, I believe to be the same artist. It's a relatively small one. There are giant ones, all up and down the Malecon. It's pretty cool. And there is the ocean. That's like a walkway out to a thing. You can go out there and watch people fish on that pier over there. Just beautiful. Look at the water. If you squint, you can see it. I'll take you down there. Something I will never ever do. The water here is just amazingly warm too. It's always bath temperature and the salinity level is really high, at least compared to where I'm. Wow, there was a bat ray. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it right there. Try to zoom in on it. You can actually see a bat ray swimming in the ocean. Zooming into that surf line where all the... Oh, did you see that? Did you see it? I hope I caught that. Where all the... Oh, did you see that? I've never seen a ray do that. That's amazing. Jumped right out of the water. There's so much life down here. It's just incredible. You can come down here. There it is. You can come down here and look at these big schools of bait fish. That's what that is. See that big dark spot? That's all bait fish. That's sardines or pilchards or something. Look at that. Or no, what an idiot I am. The great outdoorsman. Emerson himself, a floating eyeball, reading the water. But that is a bat ray, a small one. We have those in San Diego too. I don't know if it's the same species. If it is, it's a really small one. I've never seen one jump out of the ocean though. Crazy. Those are the frigate birds, little specks you can see. But yeah, you can come down here and just see fish. You can see fishermen actually catch fish. Big, I think they were catching smelt, maybe barracuda. I saw some needlefish for my fish heads. And then all the way down there in the distance is Los Arcos, if you can see it, that island right there. Famous spot to go snorkeling and look at turtles and go kayaking and stuff. I did it when I was here the first time, and it was pretty neat. All right, I'm gonna walk down to those rocks, find a little shady spot to sit here and opine at you, talk about my experience. It is your sweaty boy. I lost my hat, I think in an Uber somewhere. So now I'm sweaty and exposed. So I think you can tell I like it here. And you know, what's the verdict? I've been here like 3 weeks. Feels like I've been here 3 months, truly. And it's not all been roses, but for the most part, it's been pretty rosy. I feel still that this is the move. You know, like I said, it's not dirt cheap. Mexico is doing well. The peso is pretty strong and strengthening, which is definitely a good thing. I just realized I'm sitting next to someone's purse, probably alarming to them. Up here, there's ants. Yeah, this was a good decision. And that's my verdict. So this is good. You can get roughly something like this a little bit in San Diego for a lot more money and a lot less access. It's just not possible to walk down the street, find yourself in a situation like this. You have to drive and spend half an hour parking, and it's packed to the ass with people. And it doesn't look like this. I mean, it kind of does in La Jolla, but I don't know, man. It's not like this. And you saw how beautiful the town is. So my verdict on Puerto Vallarta, at least, is it's exactly as I remember it. and it's worth all the hassle and stuff. I think that the two big questions that are probably on most of your minds is, how's my health, and am I happier? The latter of those two questions, it's easy to answer. Yes, I am happier. And many people have pointed out, it's, you know, well, wherever you go, there you are, Matt. So just so you know, you can't escape your own misery. Thanks, pals. On some level, on some dumb level, yeah, that's correct. I am still the same person that I was, and I still have moments of melancholy, and that's, I think, a symptom of being a person, would be my guess. So I didn't have the expectation that it would be a magic bullet that would just make me elated all the time and erase all of life's sharp, uncomforting bits. I'm not an idiot, you know, I'm not delusional. But my overall quality of life has improved. My mood has improved. I like being in the world. I like being outside, and it is a little lonesome at times. You know, you feel like, you know what, like I'm just this sole person unmoored in the world, which is often a very liberating feeling. Sometimes it does feel a little bit disorienting, but I had that same disorientation when I lived in America. One of the things that pushed me to make this move is I had this sort of realization when I was in Mazatlan. I was swimming in the ocean with a friend of mine, and I was looking back at the hotels. I was trying to imagine what it would feel like if I lived there permanently and I was alone. And I tried to imagine the feeling of alienation. And I just realized, like, that's just how I feel in America anyway. Obviously, my social support network is stronger there than it is here, because here it's non-existent. And it's not like that's totally meaningless, or like it doesn't have bad consequences on some level over the long term. Again, I'm not stupid. But that feeling of being kind of this floating little bit of flotsam in the universe, which is, I think, the big fear that people have in doing this kind of a lifestyle. It's how I felt anyway. The big epiphany was, I feel like America is a foreign country to me. I have almost no sense of belonging there in the first place. That may change. Cut to a year from now, maybe I'm just losing my mind with loneliness. But for now, this has been a lateral move. I don't actually feel more alienated and alone. Maybe like 10%. But it's been good, and I am happier. Go figure. You know, when you improve every part of your life, or most parts of your life, in one fell swoop, you tend to feel better. And speaking of feeling better, in terms of the health stuff, it's still a problem, you know. I also didn't think that it would be an overnight fix. I'm finding that doing laptop work on these videos takes a toll. And I haven't, you know, I spent all this money on like an external keyboard and a laptop stand I'm not even using. It's just out of stupidity and laziness. So I need to start implementing those again. So it is still a problem, but I'm paying not as close of attention to it. It's not as upsetting. And I'm still optimistic that I can really focus in on it and just kind of slowly ease up on it, make it go away. And general mobility has a lot to do with that. Just doing stuff like this. I would go swimming if I didn't have all the camera gear to leave in a backpack. Just stuff like this, just being out in the world over the long term, even if it makes no significant physical impact, which I don't see happening, just psychologically, it's just so preferable. And it's just so nice. So, yeah, I'm a big smart boy. I made a smart life decision, I think, for now. I don't know if I'll stick with it for you know, the rest of my life. Almost certainly not. But for now, the outlook's good. I'll leave you with some nice nature scenes. How about that? Even more nice nature scenes. Thanks for watching. Hope that you like the travel stuff, because this is actually pretty fun to shoot. All right.